Oh my God, welcome to Plathville. Okay, can you say crazy? um, okay, last night, season 7, episode 8, Frasiacs, we're going to break it down. Welcome in. I'm Sarah. You're listening to TSFS, a daily pop culture podcast that covers everything from Bravo to that whack job mother in Beale City, Michigan, who harassed her own daughter, cyber stalked her own daughter there. I'm still not over unknown number. I'm still not over it. Anyhow, we're talking Welcome to Plathville. We are talking season 7, the greatest season this show has ever seen. You can thank Veronica for that, even though everybody hates her, and rightfully so. She's insufferable. We have episode 8. Episode 8 that aired last night. The wedding, quote unquote, the wedding. Now, the wedding didn't happen last night. Last night was, in fact, just the rehearsal to the wedding. Okay. We have 13 episodes. Y'all know that. If you listen to my recaps every single week, you know we are counting down. 8 was last night. We only have a few more to go. Zach and Lydia get married, but the hatred this family has for Zach. Like, I feel like Micah's nose was broken and nearly ripped off, not because of Micah and Veronica. Like, I think that the family took out their rage against Zach on each other. Okay, so we start last night and it goes from bad to worse, awkward to more awkward. Thank God we're not doing a drinking game. We'd all be hammered. We would not even be conscious enough to continue reviewing this. Their wedding day, they opened last night with Zach and Lydia. Okay, 2 kids who are absolutely giddy with one another. They still haven't kissed. They haven't fucked. Even Kim left. Like, Kim Plath is the voice of reason on this show. Last night, she's like first of all, she's in a kitchen, mic'd up on a reality show. She's like, she looks hung over as shit. She's got like her eyeliner down like half her face. She's angrily washing dishes. She's like, the only reason these 2 want to get married is because they want to fuck. It's like, wow. So much for you used to be all about love and getting these kids like, singing the Jesus songs and marrying a man right out of high school. Not anymore. 4 days till their wedding last night. And Lydia, we opened last night with Lydia and Zach, and Lydia's stressed. She's got a million things to do. And unfortunately for Zach never helps himself with these gay rumors, ever, okay? Within 5 minutes last night of the scene, Zach just talks about what he's going to wear to the wedding, the suit. He kind of shows us a sneak peek of the suit, and the suit is blue because it goes with his eyes. Was that the first thing your husband thought of when you guys were getting married? Did he go, this tux really brings out the iris, my sort of brown iris eyes. It makes my pupils just pop. Like, was that what like? I think my husband looked at the price. I think that was really what my husband was like. What color is going to be the most affordable and look somewhat decent in photos? Okay. Zach wanted blue. And we said, then this isn't good, Zach. Throughout the first half of last night's episode, we hear that really he kind of stuck to his guns and was very adamant about the color coordination. He really wanted blues because that's his color. Now, I will say this. I got married in Maine, 1812 Farm. Highly recommend it in Bristol, Maine. If you ever need an event center, not sponsored, paid every dime. Unbelievable. Everybody still says one of the greatest weddings. We drank the place dry. It was so much fun. Okay. It is interesting. The events coordinator did tell us that the men do seem to get quite involved with the wedding plan. Most men let the women lead, but then they did say there's 20 to 30% where the guys have very specific things they want for their wedding. So maybe Zach isn't that far off. The other thing that really was, I know the guy is just, I know he's got sisters. He's in touch with his feminine side. He tries on Lydia's bridal sash. She's got one of those. I think we all have one. We usually wore them to the bachelorette party. Isn't it funny, by the way? They never had a bachelor or bachelorette party. They met at a church. So not that I was expecting they were going to go to Vegas and get strippers, but they never did anything. Side note. So she's got a bridal sash, and he tries on the sash. And again, are the producers like trying to mess with us? I thought we just got over the gay thing, and now we're right back. That's who he is. Mariah pops into the house. We see Mariah somewhat last night. Her surly self. What does Mariah add at this point? Can someone tell me if you watch the show? What is it like? Let's just not have her on. She doesn't seem mentally stable. She doesn't seem well. She tells us last night she now moves to Montana. She's been out there like 3 weeks or a month or whatever. And the moment she left Georgia, this light came on for her and like things seemed to open up. Why is she back? Let's have her as background noise. What is she bringing at this point? She pops in. She doesn't know if she wants to be there. She hates love. She's like goth as fuck. It's like, why do we really need her back? Like, oh, great. Madam Depression is here just in time for the wedding. Ugh. Anyhow, Mariah's back if you wanted to know. Family is all gathering. They're all gathering at the little house in Cairo, Georgia, the white home that's for sale for $600,000, which, by the way, I don't think is sold yet. And they're gathering. They're getting ready because Lydia and Zach are going to marry in 4 days at the Plath farm. They've got to do seating charts. They've got to do a playlist. I mean, wouldn't you love to know? Hopefully we're going to see it, right? What songs are on that playlist? Like, what are they possibly going to play? Cupid Shuffle? Like, I doubt it. That's what the producers should ask. Like, how many weddings have you guys been to? Any Cupid Shuffle? Like, what do you think you're going to ask for here? Probably a lot of like, I don't know. Are we going to get a lot of church songs? Jesus Take the Wheel is like the song that should be the entire theme song of season 7 of Welcome to Plathville. It's so bananas. All right. So Zach helped, we, for a moment too, last night, we again, the theme that you need to know about last night is this underlying tension, which is marvelous, by the way, as a watcher, and also actually quite relatable. Weddings and funerals are very stressful. Many of you know this. You've been through it yourself. Weddings and funerals, very stressful. And it's like, I love the tension that is going down in this family. Okay. I've been to weddings. I've been in weddings where, especially like my family did not like the groom. It didn't last. I have 27 first cousins. It was such a wrong marriage. After the couple got married, like the bride and the groom stayed on opposite ends of the wedding reception hall. We all knew like this was doomed, right? So, I find it extremely relatable. But last night, there's just a bunch of foreshadowing and just a bunch of tension in the room of how this wedding is going to explode. So Zach, for a second though, gets a reprieve where we think, maybe the family's liking him more because he helps Ethan with one of his cars, his Model A. He's happy, like helps him get a windshield fitted, okay, for a Model A car that Ethan has. He put the windshield on, and Ethan is like, okay, well, that's pretty much like more masculine than they've ever seen him been. And Ethan seems like, okay, maybe he's opening up. And in that moment, we get a phone call from Micah. Now, Micah is calling Lydia to say, hey, tomorrow we're coming up to help you guys get ready for your wedding. And by the way, after saying she wasn't going to attend, Veronica is coming. Now we know as viewers and fans that she is making this season because we were all unified. We got a villain. We got a clear villain taking the heat off of the Plath family. Although Ethan, a lot of people got their issues with Ethan. And so she decides she's going to come. And to me, I'm like, that's because Veronica, she ain't going to miss a moment to rub it in Micah's face. Like, she's going to take a moment to be on camera. So then Ethan goes, oh, I don't want Olivia to come. I mean, I'm getting my girls mixed up. Veronica and Olivia and Tegan, I'm getting all my girls mixed up. He does not want Veronica there because he knows there's going to be an issue, and he is furious that Veronica started the rumor that Tegan had an OnlyFans, even though it's not true. And Ethan, the producers go, okay, well, on top of that, how are you feeling about Zach? You liking him any better? Nope. Got no use for him. Okay, you redneck wonder. Well, great. All right, we're 4 days out, and it's going from bad to worse. Okay. So then, Barry chimes in. Barry, by the way, last night is like the creeper of all creepers. this is really what you need to know about Barry. Last night he uses the word Riz and tries to pass it off like he's like smug and cute and in the know. I mean, there should be a law that no man over 50 is allowed to use Riz or basically any trending term. Okay. Riz means your swag. It means like, you got it going on, like you look great. And he's like, your fit is good. He's like, I'm gonna have a lot of Riz for this wedding. And then he's waiting for producers, and producers are like, Riz? He goes, yeah, Rizzy. I'm going to allow you to stick your fingers down my throat to help me vomit. That's how bad this show is. Okay. It's just so, ugh. He's weird. He's oddly like, I do have to agree with the family from Isaac to Ethan to Kim. Kim, again, is like voice of reason for me this season. It's weird how much Barry is like signing off on this. It's weird. It's like he almost like wants them to get married. I don't know. Like, is does he have this odd affection for Zach? Does he just want to be cool? Where Kim is kind of like on the outs and more the disciplinarian. It's very strange. So, they all are like hanging out. There's this underlying tension behind the scenes, and then they all jump into Ethan's Model T car. They put on this pop music song. The kids are like driving around the field. It's really funny because the song is like this, like hot, like not really techno, but this like pop Ariana Grande type song. But they're in a Model T and they're just like driving up and down a dirt driveway out in the middle of Cairo. It's just like, I love the juxtapose of what the producers do with this show. This is when, Ethan reveals he still can't stand Zach. And they're getting married at the farm. And Kim informs us finally, like she finally puts kind of some definition on it. She says, and again, she's like doing the dishes. This to me was like the scene last night. She's doing the dishes. She looks hungover as fuck. We know Kim loves a cocktail. Girl's also been popped for DUI, like our girl Karen Huger, who didn't learn a dang thing after she got out of jail. Went and got her makeup and hair done, like anyone was waiting for that. Mothers Against Drunk Driving, maybe heading to one of their rallies would have been more effective, Karen. Sorry, I'm very sassy. I'm pregnant, 15 weeks, by the way, today. And this baby has some spice. Okay. Now, Kim gets to it. Finally, we get some detail. It's been quite vague, I'm going to say, for 8 episodes as to why this family doesn't like Zach, except for the fact that this is very rushed, right? Kim calls it out point for point. Kim goes, red flags, major red flags. And you've got to tell somebody about red flags. And here's what she says are the red flags. According to Kim, Zach does not do any chores around the house. Okay. He's been staying with Isaac and Barry. And we find more of this out from Isaac. He does not offer to really help, doesn't do dishes, doesn't offer to vacuum, kind of lives, they imply, like a pig up in his room, which is actually Isaac's room. He shoots down Lydia's ideas, has to be Zach's idea. And I gotta say, from what we've seen, right, pretty controlling about, again, they're editing him, they're giving him this edit, how much of this is true, but this guy is no wallflower. He's got no problem with confrontation, he's told us. He, is willing to go head to head, toe to toe with Ethan and Micah. Willing to be asked if he's gay. At first he says, it doesn't bother me. Then he goes back and kind of says to camera, but not to Ethan and Micah, that it was very rude that they would ask him that. And Kim just says overall, she feels like this guy is taking over Lydia's life. He really, he kind of will listen to her, but then he shoots down her ideas. And one of them is that he wants this wedding in blue. And we go to the happy couple and the producers go, yeah, tell us about like the theme of your wedding. And Lydia's like, yeah, we're doing blues because blue's such a great color. And yeah, we love, and blues pop and they look great on Zach. Oh boy, girl. So, Finally, Kim like addresses it. And I'm like, okay, I understand this. I understand they're worried about his work ethic, his kind of laziness hanging around, and his controlling way that he seems to already have with Lydia. It is triggering for Kim, and now we finally know. Barry, of course, is a useless bump on a log. This is where he starts talking about his riz, and what he's going to look like wedding day instead of, does he have any red flags? Does he have any concerns? Not really. The Bearmeister, Barry's like more worried about getting in a dad joke than having any concerns. Best part, I feel like Kim, again, now look, we know Olivia Plath says she's like the worst person ever. So does Veronica. But last night, Ethan and Tegan are there and they're saying, look, we're not thrilled. Veronica's going to come. She always creates trouble. They're not wrong. And why is she coming last minute? Okay. You're supposed to RSVP to this 2 weeks ago. She said no. Now she's changing her mind. She's throwing a loophole into everything. Everybody's scrambling anyway, days before the wedding. And now she's coming into the mix. And so Ethan tells Kim, he's like, yeah. And she started this rumor that Tegan has an OnlyFans. And Kim's like, well, do you? And Tegan's like, no. And Kim's like, well, I'm thinking about starting one with all the finances with Barry, except for I'm just going to do my fee because the rest of it, I don't know if anyone wants to see. Okay, I would pay so much money to see Kim Plath doing porn. Can you imagine? Like when I predicted this family would go like ape shit years ago, like if it ends up that Kim Plath is on OnlyFans as a foot fetish model or like banging people out, I will roll. It'll go down as the greatest show of all time. Like what a transition. So Kim is totally cool, where she used to be this judgmental like woman who hid these kids from the world. Now she's like, not only, by the way, Kim doesn't even miss a beat as to what an OnlyFans is. She's clearly well aware. And then the moment arrives. Veronica and Micah announce that they're coming. They called, and then they show up. And Veronica tells us in her little confessional that the therapist, the one that was epic last week, told her that she would regret not going. She would regret not going. She would regret not trying to repair her relationship with the family. And Veronica and Micah have made this pact that when they go to see the family and Lydia, that they are going to stick by each other. Micah's going to stick by Veronica. If family members try to cause drama, they're going to address it and they're going to leave, or they're going to, not make a big deal of it. They're going to try to put Lydia first. So within a few minutes, they get to the farm. Veronica goes right over to the animals. Clearly a deflection. She's trying to feed the animals. She doesn't want to confront the family. She doesn't even want to say hi to the family. It's not great. It's not great. I would have expected a woman in Veronica's position. She's a realtor. She's got stature. She's got confidence. I would have thought she would have gone up to Tegan. What do you have to like worry about with Tegan and Kaylin, right? I mean, first of all, you can't tell them apart. It's like Tweedledee and Tweedledum. I mean, it's like I would have gone and been like, hey, girl, sorry, I started this rumor about you about the OnlyFans. That's kind of hard to lead on that, actually. I think I just would have gone up to Tegan and been like, hey, how are you? Look, I know you're angry. I heard a rumor. I would have made it up. I would have said, look, I saw on Reddit that you had an OnlyFans and I spread the rumor and I shouldn't have done that. I was very angry. I retaliate. I'm in therapy. I'm working on it. And I hope you're great. Like Veronica, it's so awkward how she tries to avoid the entire, it's so awkward. So she's feeding the animals, and then Micah gets a phone call from Isaac. And this is where it's like setup after setup after setup. Isaac is going to lose it, okay? First of all, by the way, and Isaac is like 19 or 20, I think, in this. But like, have you ever seen a guy, like what does Isaac know about life? And yet he seems to have an opinion on everything. He's like so wound up about the wedding. He's like, I'm going to lose it. You're 19, pal, okay? You're spending half your day on a tractor. Are things really that like intense for you? Picks Micah up in a huge redneck truck. Now, I love a redneck truck, okay? I love an American-made man in a truck. Nothing's hotter. Arm sleeve of tats. And I'm not really a tat girl. I'm not, but some men can pull it off, and they're hot. Isaac's like 19 or 20. He's not that hot. Micah, fine, AF. Picks up Micah. Micah automatically, so already Micah has like abandoned the pact that he and Veronica have made. And also, is it not clear to everybody last night how obvious that Micah wants nothing to do with Veronica? Okay, up until this point, I thought that Micah really loved Veronica and was trying. Now, episode 8 last night, it is obvious to me she is there to like, he's going to break up with her. He's so uninterested. He leaves her immediately after they say they're going to stay by each other's side. And he goes in Isaac's truck. And Isaac is just like melting down. He's furious. Veronica is there. He's like, why'd you even bring her? And Mike is like, I know, actually, I don't know why I did. She wanted to come the last minute. I know she's trouble. Like, I love her. I don't know how much more this is worth it. It's like, it's your family. I think you could also just say, I don't think I want you there. However, we all know she's great TV. And Isaac essentially reiterates what Kim says. He's like, I've been living with Zach for the past month or, 3 weeks. The guy's lazy AF. He only comes downstairs when someone's made food. He doesn't hang out with myself and Barry. That I kind of can understand. He lays around on the sofa, surfs on his phone. What is he going to do to provide for Lydia? Well, maybe he's like enjoying the last couple of weeks. You know what I mean? Ever do that? You know when you're like getting ready to start a job and you're extra lazy before you start the job because you know you're going to have to go like 9 to 5. I used to do that. Like when I'm like, oh, I'm starting a job at 3:30 in the morning on a radio station. So these 2 weeks, I am going to be doing nothing but laying around, eating ice cream. Well, that was before I did mindful eating. Anyhow, you know what I'm saying? Like you're extra lazy. You shop online a lot. So maybe Zach knows he's going to have to support her. So he's taken some extra time. But we find out from Isaac is furious at how he has lives like a pig in his room, doesn't want Veronica around. And they're basically gone for like 45 minutes. So Micah does defend Zach. And Micah says, well, when they came down to Boca, he did help. He helped around the house. He got down under the house with me. Like the guy knows anything about plumbing. I mean, he doesn't know if he's looking at copper or fiberglass, like pipes. You think Zach is like, oh, hey, okay, I know how to hook this up to the toilet. Okay. So Isaac has already told us he's going to lose it. Now we know, of course, this is going to happen because he and Micah fight. But what a turn of events, right? These two brothers seem so in sync in episode 8. Things like, it seems like things are going so well. Then we cut away to Veronica, who's still, it's just so awkward. Like Veronica's sitting there kind of in the center of the family, but everybody is like going around her without her interacting with anyone. And she hops into Micah's truck. She's got a switchblade knife out. Her fake lashes that she's putting on are strung all over the car, and she's like wiping her nose. This looks like a scene from the movie Blow. It's like she just did a line of coke and she's trying to get her makeup on. It's so good. Micah's gone. She's, just kind of holding it together for Veronica. And then poor Amber. And then 16-year-old Amber seems to be like also the most mature of all of them. Comes over to her in the truck and is like, hey girl, how are you, Veronica? And they give each other a hug and they check in. And like Amber seems to be the one that's like actually the most mature. And it's very interesting last night. Very interesting. I think it shows how in turmoil this family is, which again is great for TV. But, if they had 2 brain cells, they would not resign for season 8. Although we know we're getting a season 8, right? And everyone begins to turn on Barry last night. Micah and Isaac are like, dad is just religious and feels like Jesus will provide for these two and loves Zach. And Kim is like, Barry is at a point in his life where all he wants to do is be perceived as cool. So he's going to sign off on anything. They want to get married? Sure. You want to go, you don't want to like check on me because I've gotten a DUI. Yeah. Like whatever's cool. Okay. And the kids are kind of in agreement with Kim. They're like, yeah, dad it's weird how much he is supporting this. So my question last night was, where was Zach's family? Why are we getting no interviews, no takes from Zach's family? Did they approve? What did they think? Like, had they known about the Plath family before they signed off on this? All we see is one quick, like, rehearsal of Zach's dad. That's it. Like, I need to speak to that family. Are they cool with this, or do they absolutely hate it too? Because that would be very interesting. So Ethan gone nutty at the end of this last night's episode. And Ethan and Kim hatch a plan. Okay. And they are staying calm for the rehearsal. They're doing the rehearsal, but everybody is seething. Ethan's seething. He's setting up the tables and he's throwing the tables around on the lawn. And Zach's like, oh, there he goes again. Always got to make noise, make a scene. Like, oh, yeah. No, Zach's going to stand up for himself. And so, it's Kim and Ethan make this plan. And they basically say, we're going to get through the rehearsal, but tonight we're going to corner Lydia and we're going to let her know about these red flags. We can't just let her get married without saying something. And of course, Barry is like, he doesn't have any red flags. He doesn't know what they're talking about. Ethan is whacked out of his mind. And he informs us that through his separation with Olivia, when he would get stressed out, he would do 100 to 200 to 300 push-ups. Okay. So we see him, his gut is like almost dragging on the dirt. He's trying to do these push-ups to basically not explode. But we're wrapping up last night's episode. Tegan and Kaylin are kind of bonding. Again, at this point, Veronica still has not connected with any of the family members. Hasn't spoken to Barry. She speaks to Mariah briefly. She's walking all around. Micah returns from the car ride with Isaac and they talk for a minute. And she actually keeps her cool. She's like, what happened to the agreement you weren't going to leave me? He has really no answer. I mean, in her defense, he's kind of like, yeah, right. And she's like, you could have texted me. Okay. He's like, yeah, I'll think about that. Yeah. The guy is so checked out. But I mean, the awkwardness of Veronica is just like wild. Won't talk to Tegan, won't talk to Kaylin. And Ethan is just upping the ante of how angry he is. He's thrown the tables around and then he gets into his mobster vehicle and he peels out without Tegan, by the way. And Veronica goes, now the hissy fit has started. Fair point. Fair observation. And he can't take it. They really do not like Zach. They hate what they've seen. They don't approve of this. Lydia is like in that prayer closet again. All she sees is like Jesus and she's being visited by angels, like completely oblivious. And Ethan's out of there with the mob car and everybody is looking like, what's up with him? And that's how we kind of end it. We end it on like the guy looks like he's, I don't know, getting ready to mow down everybody at this rehearsal with this car that looks like it only runs on diesel. It's so bizarre. It's so bizarre. So in. And then we get the teaser for next week. Now, the teaser for episode 9 doesn't seem as good as, what we've had so far. So maybe we're going to have a bit of a, maybe episode 9 and 10 will be a bit of a lull. 11 is the actual wedding. 12 and 13 will be the fallout of Micah's broken nose and the breakup with Veronica. And maybe we'll find out too. The rumor is Ethan and the Teagues are over. So maybe we'll have some conclusion there. But we see the teaser and we find out. Now this is like wild with Zach, that Kim and Ethan, at least this is what's implied, try to have a sit down with Lydia to intervene and be like, don't marry this guy. And Zach stops it. Okay, can you imagine? Like, I might be coming Team Plath here. Like, if my brother's dated a difficult woman. It's so hard. It's really hard. But you got to, I think you, in a way, you do have to say your piece as a family member just to say it. So, and then we see Zach in the confessional, like what they've done is crossed a line. They've crossed a line they can't come back from. Damn. Okay. I guess Kim was right about your ass. Ooh, he's turned out to be a real bitch. So there you have it. What'd you all think of episode I love this redneck family. I mean, I'm telling you, it reminds me a lot of mine. Like I said, there was a fight at my wedding, stitches. Somebody had to go to the ER. And my brothers dated a woman. We had to have an intervention. Yeah. We were like, don't do it. They didn't get married. It was years of drama. Whew. Okay. I love this show. I love this show. Be sure to be on my TikToks for all the latest updates and my Instagram at the Sarah Fraser Show. Bye, everybody.